Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. Hope you guys are enjoying. Today I'm going to talk about the newly features, that is Java 22 feature that is introduced newly. So today actually you are going to learn something new about this Java 22 feature of this one. So here that is the one of the feature that I'm going to talk about, that is called the unnamed variable and pattern. So today basically we're going to learn something new. So here today I will talk about, that is like, what is an unnamed variable and what is the purpose of it. Second, what are the unnamed patterns and unnamed variables and how we are going to use it into our like whenever we are going to write any applications or any code. Third one, how can you like write the switch expression more concisely with the help of these unnamed pattern variables. As you can like see over here, the unnamed variable and the patterns are introduced as a preview features of Java 21 as a part of the project Umber. So they actually, those kind of preview features are finalized in this Java 22. So unnamed patterns and variables are denoted by basically in the underscore character. So in the code, whenever you're going to demonstrate some examples of that, like how we are going to use it in our code, then I will show you like how we are can denote this one, like unnamed variable and this pattern. So this is basically done using the underscore. There is one character, so that I'll show you. These new additions allow us to reduce the boilerplate code from our code and like which side effects are only, that is the concerns. So these unnamed patterns are improvement over the record pattern that is in Java 19 and pattern matching for the switch. We should also be familiar with the record functionalities introduced in the preview features of this Java 14, right? So here we will drive through the how we are going to use this newly introduced features of Java 22 and to improve our code quality and the readability. So purpose of this one, like usually when we are working on this complex project, so we don't need all the data from whatever the object actually hold all the times, right? Ideally we receive from an object only what we need, but that's really the case. Most of the time we end up using small part of what we have been given. So let's like next we will talk to, I will write this code that like how we are going to use this unnamed variable into our projects and how we are going to use this unnamed pattern. So let's without further ado, let's write some code for this one so that you guys can understand better like how we are going to use this one. So for demonstrating this unnamed variable and the patterns, so basically you need to use I have created one Java project. So how we are going to create this one? So from here you can create this Java project. So I've already created. So once you need to just provide this project name, and over here you can choose this like JRE. So I have used this JRE 22 because I'm going to use the Java 22 feature over here. So over here I've created one package. So next I need to create one class over here. Let's say Java 22 features. Okay, you can give any name over here, and let's create one main method. Okay, so it sometimes happen that we have to define that variable, but that variable we don't need later on. So if we say one example, like if we want to handle some exception over here, so let me write some code over here. Let's say this one integer I equals to let's say integer dot, or maybe something int I equals to 10 divisible by 0. Okay, so now if it is exception is occurred over here, we need to catch it. Okay, so for that we need to write some catch over here, and here we need to define the exception class over here, or whatever the exception it is, based on that we need to define the exception over here. Now let's say we are putting some log over here. So let's say we can write something exception occurred. Okay, so as you can see over here, this particular e variable actually not getting used over here. So that is basically we don't need. So in this case, basically how we are going to define this unnamed variable. So for that we need to update this variable with underscore. So this is the syntax that we can avoid, that I was actually talking about initially. So this is the case. Basically we need to define this underscore so that basically it will like it will like we don't need this particular variable over here. So if we run this one, then it will print the log into the console over here. Okay, let me see. Okay, so it's not printing. Maybe it's we need to define instead of this one. Let us show. Okay, now we can see exception occur is coming, right? So this is the way basically that we can like this is happening. Another case that we can also define over here, like nowadays we are also having some map. Okay, let's say it's a contain string, then let's say integer. Okay, or maybe something we can say kind of array list values or something we can also add over here. Anything. Okay, maps equals to new hash map. Okay, so this particular map actually having one functions, one method actually, one method that is called compute if absent. So here maps dot compute if absent. So this one particularly, first of all, the first parameter is taking the key, second was the function, right? So first of all we need to provide the key, like what key basically we need to check that is available or not, right? So let's check with ABC. Okay, so if it is not available, then we need to add some values over here. Okay, and here we need to define this one, or better if we say, so it will be better to applicable actually array list. Okay, here if it is not here actually basically, then we can new array list over here dot here. Instead of that, basically we need to define integer. Okay, we need to include the list, and over here if this particular ABCs exist then is fine, else we need to add the integer. Okay, in this way. So here, okay, what it is saying now, okay, we need to import it. Okay, now why actually I have given this example, as you can see over here, this k variable actually not used anywhere, we are not using anywhere, right? So instead of this we can defining this underscore. So in this way also we can, it will remove the confusion that like particular variable is getting used or not. So this is the benefit of it, right? So like as of Java 21 there is a no longer have such variables, but it's better to use this underscore over here. So this is the case that we can use. Next we will talk about, like this is about the variable, now we will talk about the pattern and the pattern variables, the unnamed patterns and unnamed variables. So this feature basically is called that unnamed pattern and variables, and it's having a lot of more to offer. So namely, like in combination with the features of record pattern and the pattern matching in the switch, which have been finalized in this Java 22 version. So in the following code I will show you like how we are going to example of this record pattern, that particular variable, which variables are basically not used. So for that, let's say we have created one object. Okay, object equals to new employee. Okay, and it's having a, let's say, two parameter, let's say like 2 and 3. Okay, or maybe we are having name like test, and let's say salary. Okay, these two parameter I having. So we need to create one record for this. Let's say create one record over here, and we need to define one is the string name comma int salary. Okay, now this is fine. Now like if we check that if this obj instance of employee, so here basically we need to define these two variable, right? Let's say in string name comma int salary, right? And over here we can put some data over here for this employee. Let's say name of a employee. Okay, and here you are putting the value of name, but as you can see over here this salary variable is getting never used over here, so it will also like looks confusing for us, right? We can see that it's printing the data over here. Instead of that we can defining this in this way. Even also with this int also you can remove this one and completely we can use this one. Now you can see it's removed lot of space over here, right? And it looks very better previous than one, right? Means as this variable basically not used, so you can completely replace this one with this underscore. So this is the benefit of this. This is called this unnamed pattern. Previously whenever we are using this is called this unnamed variable, and whenever we are using this complete replace this one with this underscore, it is called the unnamed pattern actually. Okay, now if we talked about the switch case, I hope you guys understand about this one, like what is this. Okay, next we will talk about how unnamed pattern variable and pattern matching used for the switch cases. So let's say there is a one object. Okay, so I can use this object over here. Okay, let's say object number equals to 5. Okay, and here we are passing this number. Now over here we can write something like case maybe byte. Okay, b equals to, here we can write something here we can write some things is out like it's a byte. Okay, next like if it is a integer, then we can say integer. Okay, then we can print over here integer. Okay, here we can, instead of b we can say I. And then also like if it is a float, then we can write something over here. Let's say if it is a float f, then we can say over here float. Okay, and default also you can define over here. If it is a default, then we can say it's not a number, right? Not a number. Now okay, so now how we are going to use the pattern over here. Okay, so over here as you can see like those are the variable basically not used over here, so definitely we can replace with this one, like this underscore, right? Okay, so after replacing, if we run this one, we can get the output. You can see it's an integer number. Okay, so this is the things and advantages of it, like using unnamed pattern and variables that are proposed under this JDK Enhancements Proposal 456 in the JP over there. So what is the benefit of it? As we have seen over here, like we have some good ideas of like what is the unnamed patterns and the variables. If we take some advantages of it, that like unnamed pattern and the variables aims is to like eliminating the unnecessary boilerplate code from like any code, so that we can easily understand to read and understand for us. This enhanced readability reduces the confusions during the code maintenance also. Unnamed variable clearly convey that the value is not intended for use and other programmers cannot modify it accidentally. So this is all about this unnamed pattern and the variables feature of Java 22. I hope you guys can understand. And this is all about this actually session for this one. In next, I will cover more features of this Java 22. Thanks for your time. I hope you guys understand like what is it. Don't forget to subscribe my channel. Press the bell icon for further getting the notifications. Thank you for your time. Thank you. Bye bye.